so edu emienu kwesi October bosome no dana etoso emienu no emu na enumu no enenam so PPP for edesa temia bese yankomotie won ya anka ebeboa won chi epa Remy Parko Edmondson ono ena ye National Secretary edema PPP amanyuku no enoja ne simpie so eno desa semina etu etwa ochemu essence no se share districts ahodo wo manga ne hwano se ya ye centers ne susu mu na ekofa nema bebre wo ho no ma bia na abato komisa no won wadwene enko so eno nti eno wo sere senti no esa nse mo pese obi ahoho ye ne hare ewo eye edin kwa chocho mu no eno na mo so ema odi ade sede ede to omunim so won sere won anka won entity bi emfa enka ne mboa Ghana for na emboa abato komisa no nso so yanto akase no esoa fimu ano sema hudo bi ebubo ye edinba mu no ni nyina mu senti na ye Bank of Ghana beto edwase ye afie etwemu no ho hwiri sika pudo be 60.8 billion eno ewo ye Ghana sika tumi yare bibi papa na di transfer krampo se sika mpo ahwe ye krampo no wonsa esi dan eno ye dan ye kan ultra modern eno no na ebro adwene nti asesa sem ne ba ye no na dom kuma o mrahye bedwefo no efie no won aso emu twetwe se nti o mompene esanse wo ye panyin na se wo de dwumeko bia na se moboka na ekani mu aso se esi dan ya na se dia kurudu ewe dwumedie no a ewo mu no enam so ema won kasa ye edisia ye Bank of Ghana governor a oda ano onunyanfo enestade sense ne dwuma nso ani nti no anko momodia na onsi efomo enam so emom de ato edwa se ntiro mpeso mo ye oyekire editia ye Bank of Ghana ene ampan no enyina na sa enemoto ya wo etuo no ena dom kuma na ndeda won ne eye aposifo ekoye nhyiemudie ekodwendwe kwan hodro a obefa so ene baby bia hora a obefa so a wodi won krata ebekwa akoma ye Bank of Ghana for sense as de osusu se entumi mboa oman eninto omonhwe na omuntu eho anamo na eye deputy minority leader ono ena ochira nsamtwefo nhyiemudie ano esa ene kasa ye edema dom kuma no onunyanfo Emmanuel Amabua na okọ kasa no eno de to etwa essence no samputupu nhyiemu ya won ene aposifo ekoye no eboa ye pa omakwa kususu ho adwen ho ekwan ho do betumi afa ebema demonstration no akosuhie ede ama eye won donkuma no
yeah the tudwa say niema akoso Bank of Ghana enye omo report 2021-2022 financial report ada diache Ghana na ama Ghana fopi akwa ahokyere mu ama Ghana maya boka kesie say ye protest na ye di tudwa say ye be sa protest no on the 5th of September na namremu no say ye ma police for enya sa information ti ye twere omo to ye nkra se ena no pay ye mra mehia omo na ye ninkomo emphasize demonstration na ebeba so no na menka se ye members of parliament p na ye nyina ye ba ha ye ba ye nso ye civil society organizations nso ba ye Arise Ghana wa ha ye nua Benamona and Resoma ni yenya nkrofo pi omo nyina bae na okura na bae ni se ye bae ni police fo hia ye mfefefe ema ye di nkobo okura na omo ni se ye di ye plan na kwa ye be fa so ye demonstration ni nyina kire omo so kire omo adwen ye wie sa nkomo no ye omo ni se ye nyina age atum se September 5th yebeye yen demonstration no
aso hono ma shebetweni a oja ode ma de hye ewo Boko Central do nyamfo Mahama Ayarega enso de to nsamtwafo anim se wo sere pa sa eda no eno eye eboboso meda na etoso enum no wo sere pa Bank of Ghana amrado bomadia na wo ye office hono mo se de be ya omoba obobebo modria ede eye won krasa ba be hye won sa na eno so no sei eno che ne nsemu fae
to the central bank building itself so that he can come down and then receive the petition himself. And we insisted on that position. So I believe that the police will convey our demands to him. And I believe that he would make himself available to receive our petition. Well, I mean, leader has already answered to those ones. As the days approach, we will communicate to those of us who are participating in the march what the routes are. But the letters that our leaders sent to the police, which many of you have already, publicly discussed and broadcast, contains the route that we proposed. So far as we are concerned, the route that we have proposed are the routes that we are going to use. The police, of course, in the discussions, discuss alternatives here and there, but we insisted that the routes that we have proposed are the routes we are going to use. And that is why we are saying that we haven't accepted any alternative arrangements. We've insisted that the routes that we have proposed are the routes we will use. And we believe and we have confidence in the Ghana Police Service. We've seen them police, lengthier routes, more complicated routes. There's no part of Accra that I, standing here, have never demonstrated through. And the police were there to ensure that it was successful.
Nekrakra mwano titreni enkani titreni Edema People's National Convention Ora Bernard Mona enso de to adwase ntino da don kuma na ye no amno moto no mo ye no so ani ye pa nto no ene ne dom de won eta wechi
has run itself insolvent. By that it means that when commercial and other development banks are in liquidity crisis, they cannot rely on the central bank for any salvation. What that also means to us ordinary citizens, and that any one of us who have any penny in any bank, means that at any day there can be some difficulties for you. Because if the bank, assuming today there is a mad rush at any of our commercial banks, and that means that they will not be able to meet their liquidity obligations, their last option will be to go to the central bank for redemption. Here we are. We have a Bank of Ghana that is already running at a loss and is in debt. That insolvency state put all of us and our resources at risk. And so if you think that you are not affected by the happenings at the Bank of Ghana, just imagine a day you get to the bank and the bank cannot provide you what you want, and you are terminally ill or any of your relations is ill, or there is no food in the house and that is your last money you are going to pick and the bank cannot provide. That is where you begin to see that the situation is dire. And as I have said time without number, when a yam begins to rot, you have to cut the rotten part. If you leave it, you will not have any yam at the end of the day. And once we know that it is the governor, his deputies and the board that are responsible for the calamitous state of our Bank of Ghana, it's important that we get them out so that new flesh of ideas will come and
Yantua Casiano Eswall, Chartered Institute of Taxation, and so Eddie Wonshire Mudia Yafi Mudiano and the Ashesha Sumitre Annual International Tax Conference, Ewa Enkran Pumpuni and Mantemum, Assembly Ane, that's one center to a journey or minor and Kai Enco, Nequame never fast to between Major to Ama Diabo Wano, Ama Ako Nenimum. Any party to any Nimpon and what do when Munyamo, a better Jumedian H. Beefy Ghana Hanum say, any Ama who draw Eswall. Senior Minister, the young for Yawsafo Emma for Ewan a Casamono. And order to a dry essence, no, a your money, the bit to me a concain pa, yan to me and for ye and to a memo bia elsewhere, nanning a could dry a 2 jar would dry, won't be to me achi.
When you are running a country, to make sure that the methodology, the system of raising revenue is consistent with your development paradigms. But the two must be taken together. When I heard the last analysis given by the last speaker, it was a very brilliant analysis. There has always been one thing missing in this paradigm, and I always want to put my view on it. If you see the development in the Far East Asia, Africa, and Ghana belongs to Africa, you would have realized that when they put all Africa together, our average figures were about the same. Then South Korea, Malaysia, and the rest, they are completely in a different league. What is missing in this analysis, and if you bring it in, you change the equation. Now, Korea has South Korea and North Korea. Go and look for the GDP of South Korea and the GDP of North Korea. It's a huge difference. It's just separated by a line. Why is that big difference? Because there is no American investment in North Korea. What is missing in this development is that the American investment in Far East Asia and some parts of Asia is so huge, and they change all the paradigm of development. There is very little investment of the G7 or America in Africa. It's almost zero. And this makes all the difference. Because once there's a very high rate of private sector investment, you're talking about oil palm plantation, somebody plants it, converts oil into the last stage production, engaging people, employing, taxing, everything, it changes the whole economic paradigm. Therefore, what is lacking in the case of West Africa, and for that matter Africa, is that we have very little G7 private sector investment and transfer of technology. Asia, like South Korea, is virtually developing like Europe, and none of that development money is coming from the government. It's all coming from the almighty America. It has changed the whole paradigm of development.
So one of my Commissioner General Edema Ghana Revenue Authority, Reverend Dr. Amisha Dai Usu Amwa, and so now some trouble for etretre and komo etremu. Ye etuo jene so emfaso awo ya ubenya ama wode abwa omano enkanko.
There are a number of strategic initiatives that GRA and for that matter the government has to ensure that we'll be able to move the tax to GDP ratio up. One of them is the VAT in terms of ensuring that every body who is, every institute or every enterprise who is involved in either the sale of a service or sale of any other goods are completely compliant with VAT. Because in the VAT contribution by most of the countries in Africa is about 30%. Ours has just moved up to about 20%. And you will notice that when we started this sort of compliance, you saw the government, the Bank of Ghana publication that showed that the first quarter showed about 92%. And we therefore is one of the areas that we ensure that if we get everybody on board, VAT will increase substantially. That's one area. Another area that we are also instantly looking at is the extractive sector, to ensuring that we also get the maximum rate and in terms of the corporate income tax from this area. So that's also another significant strategy that we are going to work on to ensure that this will also increase. Then the third one we'll also talk about in terms of the overall compliance as far as the individuals in terms of the personal income tax and then informal sector coming on board. I mentioned during my brief presentation that it's important that the mandatory filing of every individual or citizen or for that matter resident in Ghana is implemented. And there are various initiatives that we have that will ensure that this comes to pass. It started with the Ghana card and then started with making the tax client certificates online so that it's easy for everybody to get access to it. So that if now we come to the point of saying produce your tax certificate at any particular government service, you don't have to have any difficulty in producing it. Therefore, it becomes a compliance tool. So there are a number of such initiatives that will ensure that our tax to GDP ratio goes beyond the 14% that we have.
Ne krakra mo no yana Ghana fododo na no wosusu dua senti wotuetu ye to wo mani mu a won hyeda enhu dia bai no de ye wo hyeda enhu eso emfaso enam so ema Professor Charles Akao ye economist enya adaje cheche eto ahodo aye gene so mfaso ene ekwan be boa ye omani nyina.
You need a progressive tax system. Our tax system as we have now is regressive. When we say it's regressive, it means that the poor pays more as a share of their income compared to the rich. So taxes like VAT, they are regressive tax. Because if I buy the same product, my income is 1,000, and I buy the product on which there's a VAT, then the 15% VAT over my income, it takes more of my income as compared to somebody who is, let's say, earning 100 20,000 Ghana cedis or 20,000 a month, also buying that. So normally you want your tax system to be progressive, which means that it must be more direct tax. And one of the direct taxes is income tax. Okay. And government is not collecting a lot in income tax because most of the people are informal. But we also realize that the informal sector is where the wealth is. Many of the unregistered businesses who are doing, some of them count millions of money a day, more than a lecturer's salary, more than a teacher's salary or a doctor's salary, and they don't pay taxes. So we need government to target the informal sector, the wealthy, the rich. Property tax is one good tax. The value of the property is there. East Legon, Cantonment, wherever it is, airport, residential. These properties are there. They can be valued, and a good tax must be paid. But again, the owner of the property will be saying, but what is the government doing for me? The road is not tarred. There's dust everywhere. There are no gutters. Government is not paying for anything. So why do I pay property tax? Again, it comes back to the same question of what is the tax moral. But the other luxury taxes, okay, if you want to raise more revenue, you want the rich to contribute more to the economy. Not that we want to overtax them. And the way to get the rich is to look at their lifestyle and their expenditure. So that rich man is not working in a salary job, so you can't tax him on his salary. But he's a businessman, he's a tycoon. You don't have a way of knowing his business. But you can see his lifestyle, the house is living, $1 billion house. You see his car, you see the hammer, you see the golden watch, million. Now, in other countries, they raise taxes 25%, 30%, 100%. Some countries is more than 120% on every luxurious commodity. So the jury has to now sit down and define what is a luxurious good. A luxurious good is a good that is not a necessity good. It's not really necessary, needed for life. But people, because of their status and their lifestyle, they want to consume that. Government can raise.
Yanto akasia no eso Ghana hanu se asrafo a wobo yensuo ho eban meche Ghana Navy enso the third International Maritime Defense Exhibition and Conference ahihye so Naval Headquarters no Bema Camp onti mopa ne sense no hwe se yo man Ghana hanu mo ene amanhodro so beka wo ho abom se de be ya yensuo no wobebo ho ban na nipabonefo bi anam ensuo no so bepiem oman no mo ama mebo oman no efom won komo twetwe mu no Captain Chienda Anyane Ekasemo no Director of Public Relations ne Kasemo no eno de to edwa essence no saa hwesudue ya won esusu ya wode eye adwuma yi ba beboa oman Ghana ne amahodro so fo a wonyina ehwebo wonsu a eho eban na osusu sentine ne pabonefo bi pese omu yomuti ewo ye nsuwa no so omoto agina ho na won aboye oman no eho eban ne Kasemo no sei eno che ne ho o cheche ni nsem ne mai.
Coming Tuesday and Wednesday, 29th and 30th of August, Ghana Navy hosti International Maritime Defense Exhibition and Conference. Bema Camp hanum. Na conference way any exhibition no, here the chiefs of navies efi amai bebre so eba
ono so ene director for research development ono so ne ka sem no de to etwa essence no sa akonya ba beda ho no me ebetumi aboa mama dendandenta ne ma bebre di eno no efa eye Ghana yeso wenso wo ne bambo a wo eye asrafo no wo eye ehu adwuma no ono so ne ka sem no say no training sem.
On the ever-increasing volatile maritime threats facing Africa's territorial waters and its blue economy. Furthermore, IMDEC 2023 will showcase the latest technologies in maritime security and provide strong solutions and recommendations to surmount the daunting maritime challenges confronting Africa's blue economy. Moreover, it will provide an excellent platform for networking among the participants and delegates. Distinguished members of the press, this event will present solutions from across the globe to help the maritime and naval industries find appropriate solutions to their challenges and threats, and further discover the new technologies to better mitigate and possibly curb illicit activities at sea. As at date, 27 nations and coast guards from within and outside Africa have confirmed their participation in the event. However, for the purposes of planning, we have made room for last-minute conversations. You never know.
Nekrakra mono Madam Rosavella Insia ono head of Stratcom Ghana Maritime Authority. Ono so si super percent no se sia na hu hia pass ankoma no imbenya nkrata ba kwa bebo ye nyina ye ho eban ewo eye insuwa no ehu di ankrofo awodo be nam so ababebo eye oma no ho eban to susu sent no an campaign fo nsim konwa no mo pen nkrata bia bambo ho sem no ehu ewo mo betumi dia ye adwuma e de aboa oma.
Globally, we have many nations using the sea as an alternate worth. And in Ghana, when we talk about economic activities or economic processes for Ghana, our attention is always on the land issues, forgetting that there is a whole lot that we can have from the sea. And so this document is basically to point us to the sea as an alternate wealth and economic resource creation. Unfortunately, like I said, in Ghana, most of our policies don't even mention maritime structures at all. We have segments. The Navy have their own, GMA have our own, fisheries have their own. But this policy is supposed to give us a unified document, one nation document that will structure everything to ensure that activities in the maritime sector are structured for national.
Esian Daniel we ba kwa share dia ekoso ewe twedi eni sikasemu. Yamamo akwa ba fe yenhwe de ekoso we twedie ene sikasem emu twedifo ewo Ghana hanu mu se ya sha se nwinwi ewo ma no emu susu senti no eye etwedie no awon edi na se da wonya faso bia ewo so esanse de bia no eye niema toa ne yetumu ewo ma no emu wo ma ho susu dua sensa se de sidi no ahoode no ewo fom eno tine na mo so ade bia no etwedie mu akwakoye kana bi ewo ye oman emu omda de se de ato abane nim sensa nko wonhwe no tete niema so emfa emma Ghana before won ka se mo no
teso awani atoso some of my dollars in ba from the na say financial day ne no so aba for be dollars in cost so na say financial day na cost ro ntu ko fa ba pe na ma niema ne bo akoye din senye say fan de anka niema bo enye din sa ana ya ne free enye nipa no so obi okoto de ne 10 cedi kura o person de gi 50 cedis no nya fa so bebre we ayese aba na oba no na ba ne nye na so ye nipa no an ye twa ye ho we
ye nto ade o empabo say first me ton pabo first ye empabo ano ye fa ni ACD ni ato ni 10 cedi say cost empabo ne da ho no 50 Ghana 60 70 obeto ni say o fa ni 70 obeto no 75 na so anya 5 cedi wo so yanto hwe eno ani se yegu dwom saa ni se yegu wo enema no bo to so aye din o matutu nyema no mu bebre yese kufa do pa ye kotoje gu fom won wo nyema mu maye
ni bi price se le jala papa bia na ni bi wonye we no kono face makeup ko hunye every 20 Ghana banyo he makeup no small fan bia na wo makeup onyo we ko mekani bi ba mekani ne ra etenwe dollar etenwe bia na ni bi pi wonyo we wo efie bia na he ni ko ba oba tashia ho he no kono abu ona bomo la ho ele ebe no na ba e ne ka ba e polish ona wo ke no ko fio we ne ke no small fan ba nye e wo won qualify wa ekwe ni bi koni wonye efe ni ne ekwa wo ni wo la hu na no oba nya wo fe wonye wo fe ja ka ni wo ye gbaka bi ye hia
omo ye ko fanto sini finu ekumi besi ho mo na kunu besi ho ntema na ntosi no box na ye to no 12 million no ye to 4000 45 ntema ni to no ye kra ye to kra mana ye brene eton no baby sa no mu di America but na se be 2 weeks im ebebu ya ma basket way na ye ton 4000 basket way no na ye ton 3000 300 3 million ma se si ana ba ya ma ton 50 Ghana ntina ama se bia na o ma kobo bu se bank na mu di eye efuo na o mboka ntima ma se si ana ese o mu titi wo edwuma ye no mu ana finso sania ebebu a amanfo ton so no sesi amika say na kenten ye ton 2.5 sesi ye ton 500 na sesi ye ton sesi amani ton kra ye ton ye bra mu bisa no apɛ na mu di America ntama esa na ye so ye ton ade no ye titi ade ton no mu but e be fom kakran so ye ma obi a ho ton obi on kita sika kro tumi tobi
nyame si anka no kra se stores no ukɔ no kɔfa de esro bia ne price obia wo said ye ode na de age eno de wuntumi nkoka kire nipa ne se ma wonje sei se wote ase ena de tosumi enu nso en de me de tum ye mpanifo nanu e ma ye ne ye ma asole ebie ye ne ye sama adwuma eso na ye to aba na ebi tenase na ebi yegu ebi so baba abatam duru so na ma bechichiri ye adwadifo ne ensa gu yachi by force ye nto aba na so ye to aba ne wi a omunnim obi a ti afi we de ye ba ma ye ni so ada ho obo ne bo na we se ne bo de na me ko inside nso a esro bia nso ne bo se de me ton sa na obekoto no wo ho
amane hye ya homeso ye ba beti kwankwa ma hodro so kwakwhwe de a ekoso e wo ho no Yamamo akwaba fe yenkopie mo Pakistan omano emu enti efi no mo twemu sense na hwem ye de ahoma toche akwakotoche ama ye nipa no wotesa ehye ni mo no won ho aka na momo obi eni ho no mo a ofiri mo na eye hye ne nkwala ensia na empemfo minu na wote ehye no emu na embra asem no eba ye no bambofo ede beye zima beye dohwe beye edu emienu meche 12 hours ansa no wotumi eyi won edi efie ye ehye no emu no krampo no asrafo ya na wonti eye won bonframe ya nam eye hwemu wode enama no wode ehwehwehwe bebi ana won ho aka no bebi ana won akwa akogu na ohwe ye BBC mfoni a ebaaye na echemu essence no eyesa edehye ya wo ya kwantufo won ko kampa wo ye ehye ni mu na afi na yehu won wechire akwan me ne wokase de dia ehye no eye ne de no eye Kaiba province honom no de ehye no eye ne de no me ne wokase asrafo anasa bambofo ensa asonimu a wo hwe ni mu senti no wode no ebefa makwan esoso bo a wode ebo no senti wo ye hwe han ama de wo se esie no esi akwanhye wo se ba no aba nti no won ede no ebefa makwan so na baba esuen hunu ede ama afoforo bi a wotu eya na mu bi a won fa safety precautions enfa enka won adwuma ehun amani share hanum se ni ebechina na nopa no nsi abremu kase bo ede beso mo nda no pe ede nyina aba no ehweye as the PSA Enkomado Kant Limited Rana Natural Health Awareness Clinic and a Heritage Christian College omnom so yasema kase bo ne ede esomo no ya omeso ye ba dwumedi ahodo aka ne ede ebesomo nana ama asamwa makramo
Ebraso agudie munseme bata HB money jumedie ho na se mo den Royal Natural Health and Wellness Clinic yendo mase ebidro ene ede adwuma infection etete wabekala pass post of social tape phone na hwase hono mpe ahomatrofo no yes eda honte no pusu na eni mpenifo eni nkomo na afi yare bia etete wo no ko na koje wayarisa na sibium Jowin Excel installation center Jowin Excel installation center bibia ne efa installation hum any amount nsem Emmanuel Bote Capito the abɛhyɛ aseɛ ɛde fi ugopie mu a Ghana ni abranti ani din ɛde Kudus Mohammed reporter yate ne kyerɛ sɛ England bobo kom din ɛde West Ham United ɔmo ni edi abranti ɛde chi yie pa mo sɛ ne ɔmo enya abranti na ɛbɛboa mo ɛyie pa na ugopie mu a Kudus Mohammed osina kan ɛma Ayas bobo kono ɛwɔ Holland abrochime mu wedi fisha mako eduno emiensa ntino bobo kom din ɛde West Ham United ɛpem so bia sɛ ne ɔmo nya abranti ani din ɛde Kudus Mohammed ɛwɔ England na abranti no bɛgyina mu in the EPL a ɛbɛboa boboko no ɛyɛ pantina no ɛne reporter abɛtɔ hɔ doma ɛna no pay yɛre nkyemu ɛda mu ɛwɔ dwumedie no ɛso yɛfi on my fie ni ɛmfa kyɛ nsɛmfo mu a ukopie mu a me no kase nra that division 1 na Super Cup on March day 2 games ahodoɔ ɛkokɔ so ɛwɔ Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex abrankɛseɛ na ukopie mu a 2 matches and a course so bobo kom dim ere nzima kotoko nhwehan tarobofo akwa insukito ene eyere pebre ebom eka mienu omo ntumi nsimo arabraka ewe nra kensi a course nom na ukopie mu a ara games no so no sei ene ho ensem esifatie Young Apostle nhwehan Sky Football Club from Daboase Honorable Wosen Ata ni bobo ko no ehom eka ba ko a omo so ntumi nsimo arabraka until we update kosom our the ongoing second edition of Division 1 Super Cup kosom our Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex abrankɛseɛ na saa pepe ɛna ho ensem etie na yankopia mu the best part Premier League no yes enche new football season ɛbɛhyɛ aseɛ na ukopie mu a Ghana Football Association penifo ɛde abase nyame adom na adom adum ya na dachna yɛbɛpa the best part Premier League, the Access Bank Division 1 League, the Malta Guineas Women's Premier League. You know, you have a pan in our tuma. Now, I also our Kofodia bedtime a hotel, and a Ghana Football Association Penifatum class. New season, no, you have a pound and to maintain Kai, National Sum, and Far and Mayan, our whole Nasa Pepe, and a home and some Esifatia. Now, if you are my Fieni and Fanchim glorious, a card of folk, we shall build our foundation with our colors. Red, yellow, and blue. Bobo Kona share. Menoka say still heart of folk. Egwa unsie so. Ewo Estadio de la Pop Menanopa. Miniba send a heart of folk in Penifine Shemono. Anyokufa kensie bako ebekoso. Na enra ugo piemu. Ewo Estadio de la Pobima. Heart of folk. Ebo anyokufa kensie bako. Omu echi Lazio Sport. Ebo mekamiensa. Bobo Kono eti mubako. Ewo hono mintero ugo piema. Biribia edana kwemu. Ema heart of folk. Omu eshen msende new season eshasia nyoma ebeko yepa ede amabobo konintina nra Heart of Folk as part of preparations ahead of 2023-2024 Bed Power Premier League nra omo echi Lazio Sport ebo mekamiensa omo eti mo ebako na sa pepe ene ho ensem etiem Ghana's tour rep in Africa nyame aduma CAF Interclub Competition no second league ebekoso over the weekend na impenifo nhiem no Dreams FC omo ene Milo FC de kankan nyame aduma kwesiara ebe akensie no basom ewo the Nations Wembley Accra Sports Stadium na ugo piema impenifo de abase ni Dreams FC ebebo anokufa akensie ba ko ne omo ene Crimson FC Dare to Dream ebebo ewa Accra Sports Stadium no miensa 3:00 p.m. and akensie no ebekoso no Dreams FC ya hunsie mapa edi ama second league CAF Confederations Cup game omo ene Milo FC de kankan edi pem so no na sa pepe ene ho ensem etiameno kase Mediama Sporting Club yes omo ebeko Abuja na meno kase team na kwa gopiemu ewo the Ghana Man Soccer Center of Excellence from Prame ho and a team no air on CC essence reporter yatene chese AstroTurf and ni second league ebekoso Nigeria no omo any Remo Stars no ebekoso intino team no akwa share the Ghana Man Soccer Center of Excellence from Prama omo air on CC ahead of second league omo any Remo Stars over the weekend and a kinsi no baso na sa pepe and ho ensem esifate yebegina no so ye de fisem ne besi yebe konkrofon close so amano nsem me no ka say World Athletics Championship no jigu enra match enra day 5 against ahodo no ekoko so
national record to put the pressure on. Yes! Oh yes! Oh yes! we may well have just seen the gold medal winning vault. She's the Olympic champion, she's the world champion. Is she about to relinquish one of these crowns? Oh no, she's not! This isn't Hollywood, this is actually happening. This is real life. This is real competition.
They were discussing whether they should have a jump off or not, but then they decided that they will split the gold medal. Incredible.
2 champions crowned. They can hardly believe the way in which it's finished. Dos Santos is out of it, he's cleared that hurdle. Varholm and Benjamin and McMaster. Now he's away and clear. So often the champion, so often under pressure. Varholm reigns supreme again. He has successfully regained his crown. He gives the roar of delight. The Viking was under pressure, and he has delivered again. He's one of the sport's all-time greats. He does not know how to lose a race over 400 hurdles. There was pressure on that tonight from Varholm. It's not a world record, but they won't remember that. They'll just remember that they were here to see a man who ran like a god, because he really did. Look at this round the bend. Ingebrigtsen fighting to hold the inside line against the Olympic bronze medalist Josh Kerr. And Kerr's putting the brilliant Norwegian under pressure. Ingebrigtsen's not used to these positions. This would be an incredible upset, and it's going to happen again. Josh Kerr, with a performance of his lifetime. Ingebrigtsen loses again. Favourites don't always win, because these are the moments that inspire greatness from everyone else. And just as Jake Whiteman did 12 months ago, Kerr has followed in his footsteps. Josh Kerr with an incredible performance of heart, belief and dedication. Paulino leading, Klaver in second, striding away from the best of the rest. The double silver medalist is about to taste the best colour of all. It's gold for Paulino. She was denied in Tokyo. She was denied in Eugene. And with a massive, massive performance and a lifetime best, she is the champion of the world.
It's in a way World Athletics Championship also Budapest a mountain so na sa pepe and who ensem isifatenra ugo piemwa Europa League qualification games ahodo eguko so na Boboko Aston Villa yes emra nkunimtie kanum yankwahwe se da kensi no isifa ko
John McGinn was left for Luca Dean. Good looking delivery in towards Ollie Watkins, 1-0 to Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins with a lovely guided header into that far post. Lovely delivery from Luca Dean. And Ollie Watkins sets Villa on the way in Europe. It's 1-0 to Villa. Put them in control. Floated in, glanced towards the far side, and has it gone in? It has. And it's Ollie Watkins with his and Villa's second. Now they've taken a grip on this. Ollie Watkins latching on at the far post, heading it into the roof of the net to make it 2-0 to Aston Villa. Space for John McGinn now, inviting Luca Dean forward again on the left. Stands it up at the far post, and it's 3. It's a wonderfully worked goal. It's Leon Bailey arriving at the far post. 2-2 for him. And Aston Villa take a 3-goal lead now before half-time, and have really got a grip on the tie as a whole. Leon Bailey making it 3-0 to Aston Villa. Kovacs. Sometimes it's slow and then other times it's quick. And again out to the left-hand side it goes for Luca Dean. Early ball in for Ollie Watkins for his hat-trick. Oh yes! Wonderful cross from Luca Dean. Wonderful finish from Ollie Watkins, although I think the flag has gone up and the celebrations will be curtailed. VAR, of course, will have a look at it. It's a goal. It stands. Ollie Watkins' hat-trick, and he can start the second half of his celebrations now. Watkins makes it 4-0. And now Villa just taking more and more control over this.
Well, United States of America Major League Soccer winner any league game na ukopima na US Open Cup and of course Inter Miami Leo Messi yes ni boboko na semi-finals me no kase boboko ready finals so mo and FC Cincinnati kamiensa but penalty shootout Inter Miami and dinkunim.
Costa está, gol, de Cincinnati, a los 18 lo decíamos, empezaba a acomodarse en el terreno de juego, el mejor futbolista que tiene el conjunto. Vázquez. Buena pelota hacia la derecha, correr con Santiago, se viene el colombiano para adentro, Volpensa. Se viene Santiago Arias, va el colombiano, pase atrás, Vázquez de frente, le pega, Vázquez, gol. Gol de Cincinnati, Aaron Vázquez, una contra extraordinaria. Arias lejos de tirar el centro, lo vio llegar de frente. Buscando Inter el descuento. Viene el envío de Messi arriba. ¡Gol! Campana. ¡Gol! Del Inter Miami. Descuenta Campana, centro de Messi. Y a los 22, ahora empieza otro partido. Gana Cincinnati 2-1.
El envión que puede generar un descuento. Pensar pide Messi, algo de...
con Messi y otro centro más pasadito para Campana. ¡Gol! ¡Gol! Del Inter Miami. ¡Gol! Sobre la hora, sobre el cierre. El último, a los casi 8 minutos de descuento, va la pelota para Joseph, lo gana Martina, ¡gol! ¡Gol! Del Inter Miami, ¡gol! Del Inter, apareció el goleador venezolano. Apareció Martínez y dice Joseph que si... Wobodo. Juega bien Gadis. Calza y centro atrás. Saca, le queda el remate para Cubo. Le puede pegar Cubo. ¡Gol! De Cincinnati. Apareció Cubo. Picante el delantero asiático. Metió un derechazo imposible para Callender. Y ahora en 113. Y ahora Cubo. Va Cubo. Cubo. Gol. Bien pateado, ¿eh? Bien pateado por Cubo. 1-0 Cincinnati.
Esperó
frente a Elkan. Va a tomar carrera. Se mueve el arquero. Va Messi. Corta carrera de Messi. Sonó el silbato. Va Messi. Messi. Gol. Del Inter, los mira todo, desafiante Messi, 1-1. El colombiano, Santiago Arias, gol de Cincinnati. Va Farías frente a Campa, Farías, gol del Inter. Va un zurdo, va Santos contra Callender, Santos, golazo de Santos. Hay golazo de penal, sí, este es un golazo. 3 Va Ruiz, gol. Va Miazga, apurado Miazga. Contra Callender, gol. Suena el silbato para empatar la serie, lo espera Can. Va Martínez, Joseph Martínez, gol. 4-4, el arquero espera todos hasta el final. Para Cincinnati, va Hagland, Callender, enorme Callender, le adivinó al jugador, se tiró hacia la izquierda y el arquero, el uno lo pone en match point al Inter Miami, que se convierte, se meterá en una